Well, hey everybody, what is going on? Welcome back to my channel. It's Joey with Alpha Blade Reviews. I'm very happy and very stoked to share with you all a knife today. This is going to be a custom knife that was requested by a new friend, Cameron. Cameron, you know who you are, from Kentucky. And he said that it reminded him of the French trade knife, and actually it is. It's a replication, not exactly. It's tweaked a little bit. This knife was made by Shane Wink. Shane Wink is a knife maker who is very humble, a very good Christian guy. I don't think I've ever heard him say a cuss word. He's a knife maker at heart, and he's also a paramedic and a firefighter, and I mean, he can do just about anything in a sporting goods store with guns, knives, whatever. But he's been crafting knives for over 20 years of all steels. I'm sorry, I didn't have that centered. I'm not looking through my lens here. Anyway, so we'll just get down with it. This was the knife that I used to cut through the plum tree in my video just before this one. If you go to my videos and go to Blade Reviews, you'll see me, but unfortunately I didn't show myself chopping through it with this knife, so that really just kind of sucked. So I'm definitely gonna have to get out and thrash on this a little more, just to show what it can do. First of all, we'll talk about the steel is 01 tool steel. My first blade in 01, I have tons of 1095, 154 CM, not tons of 3V, but I do have 3V. I have S30V. I have 1075 high carbon steel. I just a plethora of different knife steels, even AUS 8 and the cold steel SRK. I've tried all kinds of knives out there. I'm not a bushcrafter. I am not a part of the bushcraft community. I don't have a problem with anybody who does bushcraft. But I don't claim to do that because it's just not really my thing to carve a bowl out of a knife. I need my knife for survival, and if I'm going to be thoughtful enough to bring a knife and have it on my hip, I'm going to have a ferro rod with me. So those of you, or not those of you, but those people who sometimes, you know, the naysayers who say that 1095, you need a high carbon for bushcraft or for survival specifically, it's because you can strike flint like a flint. You can strike with a rock against a blade and you actually get a spark. Man, that is so hard to make a fire like that. The Canterbury guys do that. That's cool. I mean, that's awesome. I think it's really cool to have those skills and everything. But if I'm going to think to have this on my side, which is probably going to be on my side a lot in my next few outings in the woods. Deer season's almost over now, but I still have a few outings for that for sure. Anyway, so let's get to the knife. We have 01 tool steel, and what he does is he leaves the heat treat along the saber part. It's a distal taper along the saber grind to convexed. Okay, and there's no hollow. It just goes straight down. It's a total convex blade. I did the handle, and I'll admit I messed it up a little bit. You know, it wasn't by choice, but I went too deep into the finger choil here because I was trying with a bench grinder with the wheels facing toward me, you know, and spinning this way instead of this way. So I was literally trying to do like this on the bench grinder, and he told me he had the equipment at his house to come over there and do it, and I begged to differ. I didn't want to wait and yada yada. So anyway, the handle's a little bit too skinny right here, so it doesn't have perfect balance. I mean, I don't know if it's going to pick up here because it's really hard to do a video without somebody filming it, and I'm doing this one up close and personal without a tripod or anything. But anyway, you want to say it's handle heavy, but then it turns into blade heavy, so I don't really know where the balance point is because I pretty much ruined it. But it's right up, it's probably right at this point, which you can see I dinged it here. I dinged it here, and I dinged it right there. And I just, you know, we didn't bother smoothing it out. There's one more place along the tip that I hit a little bit. You know, I dropped it. But anyway, other than that, it's fine. So to get into the specs of it, and this is how, you know, it looks in your hand. I mean, it's palm feeling still. I mean, you have a huge choil, which, I mean, a lot of guys like that. I know a lot of bushcraft guys would really like that. They probably wouldn't go for this blade. But anyway, I actually cut the handle out myself and put the handle like I wanted, which is flush with the tang. And I wanted just a little bit of swell, not blocky, not as blocky as SE, more like, you know, your Tops Bob or something like that. You know, yeah, I just like that kind of handle. Okay, let's get to it. This is 0.20 inches in stock, blade stock, and it does carry all the way down to the distal taper. And to show you that it's truly a convex edge, glad this light's working well tonight. There you have it. And we'll turn it around this way just to show you a true convex. And it is truly convex. I hope you all can see that. I'm sorry if you can't, but that is the tip toward you. Come in some. It's convex. Anyhow, okay, on with the video. So black G10 on the inside of OD canvas micarta. Okay, titanium rivets. No real lanyard hole, but you could use this one for one. I mean, 550 paracord fits. What I was going to say is this has been sandblasted. He sandblasted after I brought the knife back to him for the finishing touches, after I thrashed on it and everything. This was all sandblasted, and so were the titanium. These were shiny, but in order, you know, to get them polished again, it'd be really hard not to screw up the micarta handle, you know, because, you know, well, the common sense will tell you. But anyway, he bee blasted all this, and if you look really close, you can see where it was bee blasted. But I like it. I think it just adds to, you know, you got enough shine right here. But anyway, okay, so 01 tool steel. I said it was 0.2 inches thick, which is just over the 3/16 mark, which is kind of the magic, you know, the magic number. And a lot of knives for outdoor use, and that's what I wanted this one for, and that's what he made it for me for. We're going to measure this right now, right here in front of you, and we have from the very back of the pommel to the very tip of the knife exactly 10.5 inches. 10.5 inches, okay, and we're going to measure here. You have just over 4 3/4 inches for the handle. And then I like to start with my measurements wherever the most distal part of the handle stops. So that would be here. And we'll pull it over here, and I'm gonna lift the tip for you to see. It's just a smidgen over 5.5 inches, the blade. Cutting edge is a smidgen over 5 1/4. Cutting edge being, I stopped it right there. Okay, so 5 1/4 inches of slicing. That's pretty good. I mean, your SE5 is about like this. A little bit thicker. I think it's a little too thick, but still, SE's a great company. Okay, so I digress on that. And like I said, it's custom. You can see the epoxy in here, or the glue, whatever he used to get the handles on and get them to stay and everything. Now, what we're going to do now is prove of the thickness. I'm going to do it in millimeters here. Yeah, it's 6 millimeters. So, I don't know if that's going to pick up or not. But right here, it's not. Actually, yeah, that's right. He distal tapered the handle to make it more balanced. So maybe if I do it this way, and you can see, I'm just really trying to show y'all. But anyway, you get the point. It's no pun intended. But just right along here until the very end, you've got a thick 0.2 inches blade stock, which is, I mean, it looked maybe just a hair under 6 millimeters. I mean, you can Google it. But okay, so we're gonna weigh it, and I was surprised. I have weighed this. I have done a very long, drawn-out video on this, and I'm redoing it. 11.25 ounces. Okay, the Becker BK2. I mean, I think it's a great knife. I don't like the geometry as much, and same thing with the SE5. They're both a pound a piece. So 11.25, you know, 16 ounces being a pound. This is 11.25 ounces, so what, 3/4 of a pound if you want to just kind of round it. It's really pretty light and lively in the hand, and for snap cuts, oh my God. I mean, you can see me just doing this, and I'm sitting at my kitchen table, and I'm just, you know, I'm holding it like this. I mean, it worked awesome for snap cuts. And I think it has a lot to do with the choil and the fact that once you get it here, it's blade heavy. So it's a really good chopper. So anyway, competitive options. No, not competitive options. We're not competing at all. I'm not competing. This is a custom knife. This knife would run you about $500 if Shane was to make it for you. Shane Wink here in Louisiana. All right, so the first probably my favorite blade, just for survival use, that I would grab is the SE6, the infamous SE6. Yes, this is an awesome knife. I have used it, and the coating hasn't even come off on this one. It came off on my SE5 pretty bad, though. I had an orange one, though. I don't know if that makes a difference. Okay, so if you put the handles together, you see there's a lot more real estate in the handle of the SE6. I like that better but I already told you that it was I told y'all that I grinded this a little too deep. I didn't mean to. I should have kept it going about like this because I already had enough choil here from the blade. But anyway, I made a mistake. It was my first time to ever grind a handle. So that was not Shane's doing, that was mine. So you see the SE6 blade here, and then I put this one in front of it, just to show you. And these, I'm gonna slide them straight together so you can see the difference. And the SE6 is supposed to be 6-inch blade, but it's not. It's more like 6.5, I think. But I'm not gonna go into that. I'm trying not to make this video too long. All right, so I also, on the SE6, this is canvas micarta handles that came off of the SE5, okay? I have a video on swapping out. It didn't have very many hits. If you dig through my videos, it's really easy to find. I have 54 knife reviews, or blade reviews. This will be 55. Just some of the stuff that I do, but you can see right here, that's not on the SE6. This is canvas micarta, not linen micarta. Same micarta as this. This is canvas micarta, not linen. And they both feel identical. They both feel identical in grip. I wanted more grip and a little more girth on this knife because this is 3/16. So if you would look here at 3/16 and then here, you can definitely see the difference. If I can get it to focus, you can definitely see the difference. And this one's distal tapered too. Let me see if I can get them both together. Now my last video was pushing 25 minutes, so I'm gonna try to cut this off pretty quick and not cut my finger off doing it. So there you go. That's a really good shot of the SE6 versus this knife at 0.2. Okay, just because I like details, I like paying attention to details. This is a custom knife, so it's gonna have some imperfections, but when I get close to it, I'm trying to show you where he heat treated it and then polished. Just ignore this right here. I'm gonna get that off. And then same thing on the other side. Now usually he puts wink in the blade. He laser etches wink somewhere up in here, and it looks really cool. So I hope he does it for me on this one. I think he didn't because I took part in actually making it. I actually shaped the handle. But, okay. Just a second. All right, y'all. Second knife we're gonna do is, this is one of my very favorites as well. At first I didn't like this right here. I really like it now. It adds a lot of real estate for when you're just holding it and trying to do things with it. I love the Benchmade Siebert design. It's the 162 and comes with the leather sheath. And this is a Firesteel.com Fire Steel at 3/16. And this is awesome. Awesome fire steel. It's the best I've ever used, and I've used like probably 10 different ones. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there because I like to throw added little goodies in my videos. But you can see if I put the knives together what you're looking at. I mean, that's basically what you're looking at. It's a Dorset But it's not, this isn't a size comparison video. It's just to show you, I'm showing you the knife against popular knives so that maybe, you know, you would see what I have. You know, see, just, and he's willing to make knives, but he doesn't do it for a living. It takes him a long time because he uses equipment. He doesn't use machines to cut out anything. He cuts out everything himself from the steel planks. He heat treats everything himself. And I mean, man, for my first custom knife, I had a guy comment one time. This is a Tex Creek I just got done using. Anyway, I just got done using this. I hadn't cleaned it up yet. But if you put some gun oil on these knives and start rubbing it really good with just a washcloth, it'll take all the sap off, and that's pretty cool. Just to throw that out there too, to clean up your blade. Anyway, this is your Tex Creek. It's not the Tex Creek XL. I think the Tex Creek XL is way too big. The geometry is way too much for the handle size, because the Tex Creek XL, as everyone knows that is in the knife community, knows, I'm sure, about that knife. It's the same handle for a huge blade. Okay, I think they should have added some girth and some length to the handle for that. But anyway, here's the knives together here, and this has a 3/16 thickness, as you can see here, and then we will just lay them on top of each other and back them up a little bit, and you can see it is definitely thicker. A lot of people in the bushcraft community don't like this, and I know why. It's this distal swedge here. I didn't buy this for bushcraft, but you can definitely use it. It's beautiful. I did a review on it. So anyway, we'll put that to the side, and I believe that concludes my video. Besides just showing you, I did not strop this knife after I used it. All we did was all we did was just put it on one of the wheels. We didn't strop it because he was like, look, you know, when you strop a knife, you're usually stropping a knife to get precision cuts. See, this isn't doing precision cuts. Now, granted, I've used it a little bit since he's done that. I couldn't help it. I showed my wife and my brother some stuff with it. It's not cutting paper real good, but yeah, you get the point. Here's some receipt paper. Sometimes it's just the paper, and receipt paper's flimsy. Everybody knows that. Let me turn this over. Okay, and there you go. It really depends on what you're cutting, y'all. You know, and what angle you're going at and all this. I can't do push cuts through the receipt. I mean, that would be stupid. But this knife is so freaking thick. It's not made for that. It's made to chop wood. It's made to do hard tasks out in the woods. It's not chop wood, I'm sorry. But yeah, it's made as a survival knife, and I will use my knife, if I was ever in that situation, the least amount as possible, because it's all I'm going to have is a weapon / tool. This is going to be the only tool you're going to have on you, besides probably what you EDC every day, and which my EDC would be a Spyderco or cold steel pocket knife, folding knife, and a flashlight. You know, that's really it, and a ferro rod if I'm going out in the woods, always. So, I mean, that's about it. It concludes my video, and I hope you enjoyed, and God bless, and subscribe if you like. If you don't, just please don't give me a thumbs down. Just go to another video. Cool.